All right, so something that we're doing here in the Wellness Center is we are going around to different departments and presenting a topic of one of our four main pillars that we focus on, which are mindset, nutrition, movement, and recovery. So today, your presentation is on mindset. Mindset is so important when it comes to dealing with health and wellness. As you all know, you've probably set some sort of goal for yourself, and generally that's a habit that maybe has been taking place for maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And it's really hard to change habits. We know this come January 1st, almost every year. We assume that we're going to wake up with a whole new mindset and that we're going to be accomplishing every single goal that we've ever set our mind to. And mid-January, we realize that it's not the case, that we haven't really done much with our goals, that we need to start again or do something different. So this oftentimes we decide we're doing something, we jump into something, just as if we were to jump on a roller coaster. So maybe you jump on a roller coaster. At first you're having a grand old time, it's fun, you're going up and down, then all of a sudden, kind of different parts of the roller coaster, you might feel like you're out of control. You might feel like your stomach's way up high where your body's really down low, or your head's just whipping back and forth to different directions. And this can be kind of how we feel if we start maybe something, a trendy diet or a fad diet or exercise program. We may start off enjoying it and all of a sudden we feel like we're out of control because we can't physically maintain what we're doing. And when that happens, oftentimes it can result in failure, which is frightening, right? We get on, we're maybe just hanging on by a thread, and we don't know exactly how to move forward, to move on. And hopefully you've never been to this extent, right? Like these photos, but hopefully this kind of paints a picture for you of, yeah, I've been there before. That sounds familiar. I've tried those diets or those trendy exercise programs, and after a little bit, I just can't maintain any longer. So why is it when we desire something so much, it's so hard to change? When we desire to have better health, when we desire to sleep more, when we desire to like fruits and vegetables, why is it so hard to do so? Today I'm going to talk about two different things of why this is and then give us a tip in how to change our mindset for the better. So the first one is it promotes an action. When we decide we want to do something, a lot of times we kind of take on too much at once, or in other words, drinking too much from a fire hose, like this picture shows. And it's hard to catch it all. It's hard to make sure that it's something that we can actually build into our lifestyle. So we're going, and eventually we're just going to stop. We don't want to do it anymore. And it forms a plateau. We plateau with things that we've done. And even though if these things are working, so a lot of times we may notice that when we're changing our health and wellness ways, maybe we're starting something different, trying something new, things might start working. But yet we still stop. And we still stop because we probably took on too much at once. It's not something we can maintain over a period of time. So the plateau comes. Does this sound familiar? Think about this for yourself. Have you ever gotten to a spot where you just feel like, you know what? Although this is working, I just don't want to do it any longer. And you stop. It's frustrating, right? It kind of feels like this. We kind of feel like a failure. We feel like we aren't good enough. We feel like we're just losing control of every single thing. So to move forward, how can we be better? By being 1% better. This 1% better philosophy is an old Japanese Kaizen philosophy, which means small, continuous improvements. It's not these huge, grand changes that we need to be making. We need to be looking at how can I be 1% better today than I was yesterday? In what areas of my health can I be 1% better? To paint a better picture of this for you, think of the middle of the ocean. If you've ever been out to the middle of the ocean or a ways off the shore, this is generally what you see. You don't see anything really if you're really in the middle of it. You don't see a lot of shoreline, but you see really calm waters, really beautiful waters, not much happening out there. And over a course of events and different reasons that I probably don't understand, things start to change. And when you think of maybe the ocean you've been to, maybe you've swam in, closer to the shore, things start happening. And as the water gathers together and different circumstances take place, it forms something that looks like this, a huge wave. And I like to think of this surfer. He looks so small in that wave, and my guess is this is not his first time surfing. My guess is he's surfed for a while, and he started off with really, really small waves and has built to bigger and bigger waves. Just like the ocean started with something really calm and peaceful and ends up in something that looks fun, exhilarating, thrilling, maybe scary to some people. But this guy didn't start with nothing. And do you think he's always perfect? Always catches every wave perfectly? Of course not. Of course there's going to be wipeouts along the way. But as you build 1% better, just as the wave formed 1% at a time, when you have a wipeout, when you feel like you're failing, it's only 1% difference. It's only 1% back if you've gone that 1%. And getting 1% back on track tomorrow, or the next hour, or the next minute, isn't any harder. So you have to think it's the 1%. It's the 1% that actually works. It's the 1% that changes your mindset, and it's the 1% that shows improvements. So how do you do this? What can you do today to improve 1%? So we're just going to take this step goal as an example, but think of your own wellness goals right now and maybe try to form a way that you can start doing this today after your department meeting. So let's take this 10,000 step a day goal. This is kind of what they recommend on average, but 10,000 steps a day can be difficult. It can be something that's really hard to achieve if you aren't used to it. So let's say your starting point today is you're at 5,000 steps on average. You're consistently getting those 5,000. And you want to get up to 10,000. You have two options. You could just jump and try to get 10,000 and then try to get 10,000 the next day and the next day and the next day and forever after that. However, by doing that, I promise you won't be as successful as if you did it this way. To take that 1%, just increase 500 steps per week. Now, 500 steps really isn't a lot. Maybe it means you park your car a little bit farther. Maybe it means you walk around on your break a couple laps around the building. Maybe it means you walk around the park instead of sitting during your son's basketball or soccer practice. Whatever the 500 steps is, figure out how you're actually going to get that in every day and start implementing it. But just those 500. So then that puts you up to 5,500. And as you do this week after week, after 2.5 months, you'll consistently be hitting those 10,000 steps, which is your goal. And you won't feel like you're out of control. You won't feel like you're a failure. You'll feel as though you increased 1% every single day. Or in this case, 1% every single week. And by the end of it, you'll feel much more successful and improved. But self-improvement isn't a definition. We don't generally say, well, I'm self-improved and I'm done, right? It's a process. We're always looking for things to improve on. So as you think of your health and wellness goals, think of what's one thing I can do right now and start working on that little 1%. Figure out a way to be 1% better. And eventually you're going to think, you know what, I should probably start making a goal to be 1% better in that area or in that area. And by doing so, you'll achieve greatness. It's little by little becomes a lot. It's not jump into everything at once. It's improve little by little to receive the best benefits. So be 1% better today and every day after. That is our invitation to you. Figure out what it is that you can do to be 1% better. If you need help on this, please contact the Wellness Center. We are here to help you with these goals, here to help keep you accountable. And if you have a goal in mind but aren't quite sure what 1% of it would be, we can help you with that too. So feel free to reach out to us, email wellness@areplab.com, stop by the Wellness Center, and we will be happy to help. Thank you.